Welcome to Remain in the Race podcast, brought to you by 88 Live to Ride, with your hosts, Ryne Havens, Daniel Hillian, and Mitch Reynolds, where we're going to discuss all things family, life, racing, and outdoors, where all glory will be given to the one who created us.
You're listening to episode 24, and I'm going to be honest, guys, every episode I go, we've got a good one, but this one was a lot of fun too. And so before we get too much further into this thing, got to give some love to 88 Live to Ride, Miss Debbie Bartosik, advancing rider safety, everything they do over there, man. Check them out for sure. My man, Mr. David Wortham over there at Big ChiefMotorsports. Man, he hooked us up the other day. We got some little Remain in the Race stickers now. We got some shirts coming. We're moving up in the world.
Speaking of taking care of some people, got Riverland, a little TRX 90, and he got some graphics hooked up for Riverland, the number 22. So pretty pumped about that one.
Nice.
And a quick turnaround, mind you.
Quick turnaround. So, ChiefMotorsports, check them out on the Facebook. Also, we have the Ryland Johnson at RJR. I'm repping the shirt tonight. It appears to be, this is my wife's shirt because it feels really small. Could it be that I haven't exercised in a while? But that leads us to our fourth sponsor, 110% Nutrition, and you're going to get to hear from AJ, the owner, founder of 110% Nutrition tonight. So, in the room to my right, we have the Son of Thunder, Mr. Ryne Havens. What's up, my man?
Man, not too much, Super D. I'm glad to be here.
It is a good time. We've kind of all rotated positions, and so now the man to my left, in the driver's seat, in the hot seat, commanding the mics and making the things do the things over there so we can hear and you can hear, and it's just this... Mitchell the Rocket Reynolds, how are you?
Feeling fiery. I'm feeling hot like a rocket.
Like a rocket.
And I'm feeling the pressure of the spotlight in the driver's seat.
Yeah, everybody has rotated one position to the left. So Mitch is now the producer. Ryne, you're the lead guy, funny man, and I'm the analyst.
Is that my position usually, the analyst?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can tell the pressure's intense over here on this side of the boom
It fits
stick.
you good. You look good over there.
Okay, I'm practicing it.
It's all right. You got some work to do.
Okay.
Well, this is my debut back. Was it been a couple of episodes? I hadn't even been with you all.
Welcome back.
What do you think? What do you think about that last episode, man?
Oh, man.
You got
Last
to
episode. Loved it. You know, something, I don't remember the exact quote, but I remember Kevin Allen, he said something like, what was it he said that he could change the mood in a room or something like that? You know, something about that. Dude, that literally, when I was listening to the episode, I was like, I got to get to know Kevin Allen for sure.
Yeah. Kevin Allen Cleveland, what a guy. And he's one of those guys, he can do that. Like, if everybody's down and mopey, Kevin Allen walks in and he's kind of he looks like this burly guy, but he's got like this not burly guy voice. And people are just like, wait, what? And so it kind of throws people off guard, and then he can get them laughing. And then if he gets to laughing, oh boy, the party is on.
I mean,
it was a party in the last episode for sure.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I was thinking, man, I'm gonna get kicked off, you know, because I mean, it's like he'd been doing it forever, you know. He just
it was.
I mean,
and what's crazy, and I've checked in on him a few times, but he was so nervous because he's our first guest, Ryne, that's like come to sit just like us three sitting. That's how we did it, and. He was so stinking nervous. And at first, he kept clicking a pin. And so I'd look at him and go, so Kevin Allen, so tell us about your family. And then I would mouth to him, stop clicking. And he'd go, what? So I kind of tried to trim some of it out. But
well, hey, back to the episode, though.
He did good.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I really enjoyed listening to that episode.
It was fun, and just once Kevin Allen, and he even said, man, I feel like after a couple of minutes, I was kind of like, oh, I'm just sitting here talking with my friends. There just happens to be a microphone in front of me. And I said, yeah, but it was cool to hear his story. And what's funny is, so the past couple episodes we've done, Mitch and Ryne, we've mentioned this guy named Bud. Bud was part of Ryland, big part of Ryland's story. I mean, a huge part of Kevin Allen's story. And Mitch goes, and I said, whose life is Bud not a part of? And Mitch just gets quiet and does exactly what he's doing now, raises his hand and goes, Bud's not part of my life.
He is now, though.
He is now.
And I'm
because
so excited.
He listened to the episode, and he's always Bud. They have a farm, and he's up early, and so whenever it came out, within like the first 2 hours of it being released, he texts me and goes, "Send me Mitch's number." and I said, "Okay."
Well, didn't you say that he said? Was it him that just texted you his name or something? You thought it was
that was Jathan.
Because that was
that's right.
Jathan.
Yeah.
That's right.
Another great guy.
All right, so I did call Jathan back, and I was like, "Dude, like, come on, you just text me your name, like what, or my own name." I get texted my own name. I was like, "Man, this had to be some sort of scam or something." But anyway, had a good visit with Jathan over that. But yeah, dude, Bud, he reaches out to me, sends me this just great, encouraging text message. I'm like, all right. I mean, like, me and Bud are bros now.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
in.
good. That's actually where I bought the TRX 90 for Rivers from Bud.
Yeah.
So he called me earlier because I went and got it from Kevin Allen's house. All right. And he was like, hey, I never heard back from you. I was like, oh, yeah, I picked it up. I dropped the money off of Kevin Allen. He was like, well, I was thinking, well, maybe you got over there and like, I don't know about this. But anyway, we've done some texting and talked on the phone a little bit. So, yeah. I'm in the clique now. I'm in there with Bud now, so
welcome.
Pretty cool.
Welcome to Team 316, Racing for Christ.
316, I love it.
Yeah, man. But that was it was good and had lots of good response. So Mitch, in the last one, you made a comment about one of our dear friends, Landon Williams.
Yes.
And so I called him and I said, "Have you listened to the pod?" And he said, "I have." And I said, "Well, one of the top racers, are we retired or what? How would you? What label should I put on you, or just no labels? Just
washed up."
Okay. And I said, so, you know, Mitch, you raced at a very high level and did it very, 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 very well. I said, that guy says you're probably the best in the state of Arkansas, Landon. He's like, yeah, man, I definitely did not see that coming. And I said, so got a bike?
Yeah.
and he's got a cross country bike. He said, yeah. And he actually lives in Greenbrier now. And he said, did you get your shop cleaned out? I said, I sure did. And he said, all right, I'll go pick it up and I'll bring it over there. And I said, oh, so you're just inviting yourself to my house? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, come on over. So I think he's going to work on trying to get his cross country bike back together.
All right.
But so a couple of days later, he calls me back and he goes, hey, when you leaving for Paducah? And I just started laughing and rubbing my hands together. I said, ha, ha, ha. We got him back.
We got him locked in there.
I just had a thought here.
Okay.
You know, I've got some space. Maybe how could we get a bike in? Not for me, but if somebody needs to work on something, like the smell of the fuel and everything down there.
Oh,
I've got some space.
Is that the Underfrog?
Yeah, that would whatever you want to call that. But like, somebody needs to just.
So the Frog is the family room over garage.
So that is the room in the garage.
Family room / garage.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure.
I just totally.
I'm just saying.
But yes.
If y'all need to work on something down there, I'm okay with it.
If we wanted to get some MR12 and just open the lid down there.
I'm so proud of you.
I
just knew you were going to say C12. He said MR12.
He did say that.
He's learning.
I've got one season.
He's arrived
in the race.
He's arrived
under my belt. Yeah. But man, again, hey, we're getting way off in the weeds. Thank you, Kevin Allen, for coming over. So we left the podcast. You went home. We were both starving. There's nothing in Greenbrier. They roll up the sidewalks after 9 p.m. And so we drove through Dairy Queen and got chicken strips, which is weird, but that's what we did. And we went over to the house. And so my dad was like, hey, Kevin Allen, come look at this. And then finally I kept dozing off. And like 2 hours later, I was like, Dad. And he's like, what? And I was like, Kevin Allen has an hour drive home. Like, you have to walk in the house and go to bed. And I have to walk across your yard to my house. Like, quit asking him. And Dad said, all right, man, I'll let you go. Now, before you go, what about this over here? And I was like, Dad, stop. But
what a good time. What an entertaining episode.
Yes.
Filled with good laughs, some seriousness. Also getting to kind of see the person who Kevin Allen is. Like, I've known him, but I feel like I've known him to a greater level. And everyone out there has to be a Kevin Allen fan now. I mean, how can you not like that dude and the response?
He's just a magnet. Yeah.
Yep. It's awesome. And hearing the Super D story, I love it. I mean, I keep replaying that in my mind. Super D. And should be like some sort of logo with the Super D. Is just a guy with his his belly button getting tickled by the grab bar and his chest on the deal, and just jumping back. That's it.
Just jump back. That's what he told me. Yep. And then he's like, no, I said jump up. And I'm like, that is no. And it could be one of those deals. Emily and I have this problem too. What she says versus what I hear. Sometimes those don't always line up.
We know that, Super D.
Yeah.
And sometimes what you say and what you mean to say aren't the same thing.
That's true. Rush Mountmore. But my mom said, I didn't know that's where Super D came from. And I was like, you're my mother. Like, you're supposed to know everything. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. But yeah, so Kevin Allen and Bud, great friends. I talked to Bud today. I'm going to be with Bud tomorrow. Going to hang out with Kevin Allen at the race next weekend. We'll be going to PRI.
Paducah International. Sometimes his words get a little mixed up.
That's true.
Paducah Raceway International. I don't know. Maybe they renamed it.
I don't know. Probably not.
It's PIR. You know, it is. It definitely is, Super D. So, Emily, if you're out there and listening, it's all Super D.
Oh, she knows.
You know?
Believe me, I've said, hey, when we started dating years ago, I'm like, look, from then till now, I haven't changed. I just don't move as fast, and my ankles kind of sound like a Cannondale running. But other than that, I'm the same person. Like, I really haven't changed. But we are going to PRI. I'm looking forward to it.
No, we're going to PIR.
PRI sounds so much cooler, though.
No.
Paducah Raceway.
No. Paducah International Raceway. PIR. We're going to Paducah, Kentucky. And what are we going to do at PIR? What are we going to do there?
Thanks for shifting gears. It is the first installment of the Builders Brawl. And so the RTI boy, RIT.
Oh my gosh, the wheels have come off. The RITR. Son of Thunder,
clear some of your own medicine.
Come on, Son of Thunder, clear us up a little bit.
The remaining of the race guys are going to Paducah, and we will be teamed up with Keister Racing. Garrett and Steve actually talked to Steve on the phone. He sent me his message in a Facebook message, and so I was going to send him a text, and I thought, I'll just call him. And he said, well, hey, Daniel, what's up? Talked for 30 minutes. It was great. But yeah, we are going to be on a Keister Racing, Axis, Walsh, Rath, Hoosier-backed machine hybrid. I'm looking forward to it. And Steve was super excited. So it'll be fun to go hang out with those guys, fellow Arkansans up there at Paducah International Raceway. I don't know how you abbreviate that, but Paducah International.
Clearly.
International Raceway.
Looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be a good time to get on. I'm assuming a CRF.
Yep.
TRX hybrid.
RP exhaust.
Oh, yes.
It's a
Richard
new edition.
Pelchat. No, Mr. Richard Pelchat. He looks like he's really making waves in the ATV industry. I'd seen his stuff originally maybe on Chucky Creech's stuff a year or two ago, and now a lot of machines are going with that
I think I originally
RP.
saw one on Cole 733 in GNCC. Why am I blanking on his last name?
Richardson.
Cole Richardson.
Yes.
I was thinking Anderson. I'm like, that's not right.
No.
Cole Richardson. I originally saw an RP exhaust on his machine. So our man Ryland says that they are the type that's making the horsepower right now. So get them while they're hot.
RP Racing, Mr. Richard Pelchat.
So I got a interesting, not interesting. I just got a message last night. I was folding some laundry. Emily was out of town, so I thought I'll do my diligence, put the kids to bed early, folded some laundry, and I get a message. And I read the message, and it says, rematch at PIR. And I'm like, rematch at PIR? What in the world? And it's from Greg Kruger. And so you remember met Greg at Saxton and got to visit with him and chat a little bit. And I was like, hey, man, what's up? And he's super excited. And I know there's a lot of other people, too, that are this may be their first chance to ride Paducah. And that's what he said. He said, man, I've never been to a big high-speed TT track before. And I said, bring every sprocket you have.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go up on the front and down on the back because it is fast.
It is
and
that.
big and wide open. So that'll be a good time too. Also got a message this week from my son, Mr.
Joey Mickley, your son, or Mr. Tanner Terry, your son?
Joey Mickley. He reached out and he said, hey, when are we going to get some Remain in the Race swag? And I said, well, stay tuned. So we may have a little bit of that at Paducah.
Okay.
TBD. And so then just a little bit ago, he's like, hey, man, where's my hoodie? And I was like, what are you talking about, son? I was like, money don't grow on trees, dude. We got some little flyers, some little pamphlets we're going to hand out. We ain't got no hoodies, but anyway, so I'm excited to get back into it. So we'll be at Paducah when this comes out this coming weekend, and then the next weekend, all three of us are going to jump on the Big Bird and head out to Star, North Carolina.
The Black Ankle.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
It is. I'm excited.
That is. It's good. Guys, it's good to be back up here in the Frog and be together.
We're in the Frog.
It's what it's about right here. So before we get to our interviews with Mr. AJ Mennuti and Aaron Medlin, what's been going on in life, guys? We talk about living life, being real up here on the pod. So life been rocking and rolling? Life not been rocking and rolling? Been rumbly? What's been going on, boys?
Well, for me, big thing for me, I finally got my shop cleaned out. We moved into this house, been doing a little remodel. And so Landon never offered to come over and help clean it out. But now that it is cleaned out, he's ready to use it.
Smart man.
Nice.
Credit where it's due. I like it. My little guy is in baseball now. And so I was like, I don't want to coach. I just want to go. I want to enjoy it. And now I coach first base. So that's fun.
Nice.
It is, dude. It's so much fun. And he's really enjoying it. And no, at first base, you don't say anything because they're going to do whatever they want. I told one kid, wait. Got a in the park home run. I'm glad he didn't listen to me. And the other ones, I'm like, run. And they just stop and they're like, I made it up there. Like they're just so pumped they made it, so. But yeah, all good at home. I would say you and I are both recovered from our near-death experience with Damien. Poor Damien. He had to endure a tough pod with me and you.
Yeah.
It was not good, Ryan.
We're recovered from that. We
y'all say that, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was.
Because Damien, the content of Damien, you could just tell. Me and Super D.
I know y'all even said something about the, like the muting the mic or whatever. Man, that's like real stuff.
It is.
I like that.
I got
that's just me.
Well, we're raw.
Well, just building off that. Yes, I would say physically, yes, recovered. But man, I'll be honest. I've been like, again, kind of on that high horse, doing good, and then not doing as good, and just kind of frustrated at times. And it's like you just, that's life.
Tax season. We just survived tax season.
Okay, tax season. Is that what was really influencing? No, so. We're doing the softball thing with River, doing some soccer too. I really enjoy that, and like we're busy, but we're not busy. But just kind of like the day to day. Like some days feeling successful and productive, and other days just feel like I'm freaking chasing my tail, But I kind of just share this verse here that I kind of round back to in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. It says, so let's not get tired of doing what's good. Just the right time we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Therefore, whenever we have the opportunity to do good to everyone, especially to those in the family of faith, sometimes that's hard to do. Isn't it, guys?
Absolutely.
Hard to sometimes continuing doing good when frustrated and life's just not going the direction. I'm blessed, love life, but that's real. I think each one of us deal with that. How about you, son?
Okay, so same thing as you guys. It's been busy with baseball and softball, and everything, and so. Like you said, it's hard to, what's that saying about, I think about all the time, what's the saying about the devil keeping you busy, trying to, so trying to keep my guard up there, and everything, but everything's going good. It's just, kind of that roller coaster where you're, like you said, it's just the grind, so I think that reflects the remain in the race part, just trying to stay focused. I know I've texted you on a couple occasions and been like, man, I'm dragging.
Yeah. We all do.
I'm dragging,
that.
tail tucked.
We all get that, and I think it's the importance of community and what we try to practice here at Remain in the Race and having one another and having our backs. Like, life ain't always going to be perfect, but we got each other. We can pick each other up a lot better. Down and out there, you're one of our listeners that ain't on your high horse, and just keep on riding. But I'm just saying,
See, it's not as easy as it looks.
It is. You put the mic in front of your face and you start talking, and you say things like Super D says.
Story of my life.
The switch in the seats, it changes the pressure of things. Sure.
I guess so.
I feel so much better over here. I love this spot.
This seat is extremely hot. Yeah.
I'm good.
You're fine. Maybe we have our new house.
I think so.
I like it. New house,
I
new
could do
spots. But man, how about some interviews coming up? Some good, fun interviews with Mr. AJ Mennuti, owner, producer, tester, brother of 110% nutrition. Really, really cool to hear his story of how that nutrition stuff started and his how he discovered ATV racing and how he fell in love with ATV racing and how that's the new family for him. And then we bring on his brother, Aaron Medlin, number 8 out of North Carolina. He needs no introduction in the ATV
biological
world.
brother, but for AJ, when you become part of the, like, you're not 110% new user, Ryne. You're part of the 110% family.
Gotcha.
And so that's what he said. He had hugs waiting for us at North Carolina. So get ready. AJ is a big guy, and none of us are. So this should be like getting hugged from God.
Okay. All right.
So here we go. But man, it's going to be good. So hey, let's catch a break real quick, and then we'll jump into an interview here with Mr. AJ. So y'all stay with us.
Here at Remain in the Race, we're happy to be partnered with ChiefMotorsports. He is top-of-the-line graphic design. You can find them over on Facebook at ChiefMotorsports for all your graphic needs. Man, we are joined by an awesome guest here. We've got AJ Mennuti, creator, owner, founder, sustainer of 110% Nutrition, an OG guy from Jersey, and now he is relocated and he's in Florida. AJ, how's it going, man?
It is going amazing. As I said, I'm honored to be here. Really excited to be on this podcast. Listened to a few episodes, heard some great things from a lot of great people. So definitely an honor and a privilege to be here right now.
So AJ, 110% it's a nutrition company. It's a supplement company. And I want to get a little into that in a little bit. But take us back. Take us back. What started you in the workout world, or where did it start for you to want to create this 110% nutrition?
That's a great question. So essentially how it started was when I was younger, I was always kind of just a nutcase, right? I had, everything you can imagine, the ADDs, the OCDs, the anxiety, all that nonsense. And all the doctors would always, your son's got to be on this, your son's got to be on that, and this and that medication. I hated that. I don't like any junk like that. I'm an old school guy from an old school family where, that's kind of taboo. All that stuff is, BS. You don't need none of that. So essentially what ended up happening was, I had to find my own ways around it, right? I had to find my way of coping and dealing with stuff like that. I guess my own personal medicine, right? Because my family they don't buy into that next generation BS. So I played football my whole life. Never really cared for football, but I love the training aspect of it.
Okay.
So I never realized that. I kind of played football. My dad liked it, so it was just like something that we had. I was good. I had several D1 offers, but I never took any of them. I had zero passion in the sport. But what I did fall in love with was the training, the weight room. So from that point on, I think I really started taking the gym seriously my freshman year. So when I started hitting the gym, and training all out, giving 110%, that's when I started to realize everything else in my life started to come together. So I was not dealing with any more issues. I was clean cut, happy. Everything was kind of falling in place. My life was going on the up and up. and I couldn't figure out why or what was going on until I finally it hit me like a brick. I realized my nutrition, my training, my fitness lifestyle is in check. It's perfect. I've got everything nailed down. So now every other aspect of my life fell in line. So I'm not going to get all, backstory and emotion, all that BS on here, but I will say
But
that.
hey, we're okay if you go there, AJ. We like that. So you
Oh,
just
well,
go
awesome.
whatever direction you
Well,
want.
I don't like anyone. I'm not the person that ever asks for sympathy or something like that. So I don't like, getting into any of that. But long story short, fitness saved my life. That's for sure. That's one thing I know. The gym, the training aspect, the routine, the regimen, all that stuff absolutely saved my life. So I owed my life to it. And it is now, and everyone who knows me knows that's the most important part of my day. That's the one part of my day that I do not sacrifice for anybody. I need that hour and a half, 2 hours, to get my mind right, and then everything else in my life is perfect. I can work like a dog from sun up till sundown as long as I get that gym time in and get my mental release. So that's a little story about kind of my background with fitness. Now, 110%, that comes from my dad. My dad, is also a co-owner of this company and my business partner, my best friend. He's taught me everything. You wouldn't know it because we fight like cats and dogs. You'd think we're going to kill each other every time we're in the same house. But he is absolutely my best friend, and he's taught me everything I know in life, becoming a man, in business, everything. So when I was starting this company, let me fast forward a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm dancing all over the place. So I always knew I was in love with fitness. I had a huge passion of it. When I graduated high school, um, I was my family really pushed me to go to college. I was against it, but they all really pushed me, pushed me, pushed me. So I ended up going. I went to UNC Charlotte for engineering. Ended up getting my master's degree in engineering. Got a really great job at a college with Cummins, Cummins Diesels,
Yeah.
and I was an engineer for them. Worked my way up, and I just woke up one morning about 2 years in and was just like, I'm miserable. This is I hate the corporate world. I hate engineering. I hate all this stuff. I never liked it to begin with. I thought that's what you do. You graduate high school, go to college, get a job, work for the family, old school stuff. So finally I woke up one morning. I was like, this ain't for me. This is not my future. This is not what I'm doing for the rest of my life. I refuse. So I was like, I need to do what I love. And what do I love? I love fitness more than anything in the world. Now, with me being an engineer, I am about as nerdy, organized, into research as you come. You'd never know it by looking at me, but I'm an absolute nerd through and through. So I don't ever like anyone telling me something I don't know for sure. I want to be the expert on it. So throughout my fitness life, I pretty much gave myself a doctorate in nutrition in the background. So
Okay.
I'd always, every night before I go to bed, I'd read a white paper. A white paper is essentially what the scientists put together on clinical studies. So it's this whole long 20-something page document with the abstract, and I'm sure you've seen them before. You've never read one because you're not crazy, but you've seen one.
I've read plenty of research though, being
There you go. All right, so you know where I'm coming from.
yeah.
Um, so I used to read white papers all the time, and over 6-7 years, I built this insane knowledge base and incredible just passion for fitness and nutrition and training, and that slowly bred into helping people for free. I've always had a passion for helping people, so people would be like, dude, you know everything about this stuff. Can you just give me a few pointers here and there? And for me, a few pointers means a 10-page essay. So I would writing plans for people and helping people. And over the years, I've seen people completely change their lives, come out of depression, lose 150 plus pounds.
Wow.
People that were diabetic, um, you know, serious health conditions completely change their life and on no more medication of any sort. So just being able to help people over the years and feeding them through fitness was just something I did in my pastime, but
Wow.
something that I really loved. That's what got me through my day.
Yeah.
So now back to graduate. So graduated, hated life, and was not happy with engineering. Woke up that morning, said I'm doing something I'm passionate about. Well, can't open a gym because I'm broke. I can't I mean, coming out of college, you got all your debt from that fun
Absolutely.
stuff, Uncle Sam, all that pride and joy. So I was like, can't start a gym. I would love to do online coaching, but that wasn't for me. I feel weird charging, to help people like that. It was odd for me. So I settled with the supplement industry. I wanted to build a company that stood out, a company that, in a really skeptical gray area world of the supplement industry, where people have a lot of misconceptions and bad juju and taboo, and it's just a terrible industry. People think they're drugs, or they're just for juiced up bodybuilders, or everything. I wanted to start a company that was built around a culture. So I woke up and I knew that morning exactly what I wanted and what I wanted to be called. 110% nutrition comes from my dad. As I said before, the one thing he told me, and now my dad is one of those people that came from, I mean, under like incredibly, incredibly, incredibly bad raising in childhood, and made himself up to a very successful businessman, crawled through the gutter and just learned the hard way. So I have nothing but respect for him and everything he knows and what brought him to his current path. So the one thing he told me my whole life, no matter what I did, give it 110%. No matter what it is. Doesn't matter if you're picking weeds out in the yard, if you're writing, your doctor's thesis, and anywhere in between. Does not matter. Everything you do, you give that extra 10%, and you will be successful. And I always took that very lightly, and I mean very heavily, and it made me an extreme person. Everything I did it to extremes.
Yeah.
I don't like coming second.
Like reading white papers every night.
Like reading white papers, exactly. I want to be the smartest and the best in the room, no matter what I do.
Yeah.
That's just my goals in life, and I set high goals, and my dad built that into me. And I found that once you live that lifestyle, once you adopt that lifestyle and get it through your brain, it becomes something crazy, because you are then the best version of yourself.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't just mean fitness. It has this. That's what I was talking about with this brand. I'm trying to build a culture. It has nothing to do with just fitness. Fitness is a huge part of it. You need to be physically fit to have a good life. I'm sorry, that's just the truth.
Yes,
you need to get to move.
Our bodies are meant to move, to be moved, and meant to be challenged. 100% agree.
Exactly.
110% agree.
110% agree. There we go. So now you're catching on.
Yes.
So anyway, I wanted to build this culture in this fitness space that brings in people from all over the place. I didn't want it to just be, the bodybuilding era, or the juiced up meatheads. I didn't want to touch that. I want to touch normal people every day, weekend warriors, people that have like the gym like I do, people that just need an extra hand, some help. That's who I want to bring into our culture, because I know from past experience, when people really adopt this lifestyle of every little thing given 110%, they change their lives. I mean, think about if you go home every day and the first thought through your head, no matter what conversation, no matter who calls, when your mom calls and you normally blow her off and, I don't have time for this right now. If you give that conversation 110%, give it your full attention, your full effort. When you're hanging out with your kids, 110%, give them everything you got. Don't be absent. Don't be on your phone. Don't be thinking about something else. Give them 110%. You're going to be the best version of yourself for your family and everyone else around you. And that's what we're building. That's what we're building with this. Now, the supplement side of it, that's my passion. That's where the research comes in. Yeah. So I've done all this research over the years, and I'm one of the few supplement companies in the world that is a full custom formulator from the owner. So every formulation I completely customize and tweak myself. I flavor myself. I do everything myself. That means starting with ingredients, going through hundreds and hundreds of different revisions of samples for flavor, for performance, for everything. That's why it takes us so long to release products, because I vet them for a year before they come out. I test them on me. I test them on everyone else. I use scientific studies and clinical studies, and the dosages have to make sense. So we really do produce the highest quality, clinically dosed, scientifically proven supplements in the world, and I'm confident of that.
And
we also
I think that makes a huge difference within this industry. You know, you're mentioning this nutrition industry that has some bad juju going on and bad raps just because, you know, it's somebody investing in something and just saying, hey, mix something up, put it out there, and let's let the public take it. But you're putting this stuff in your body and your friends' bodies, and you're testing and you're researching it. So that makes your stuff different. It makes your stuff reliable. It's like, I'm not just making a product to sell. I'm making a product I'm actually using to change people. And you know, from that, I want Super D to jump in here, and I want you to just talk a little bit, because we have, you know, we'll just pause the story for just a little bit and pick up. You know, our listeners are from all walks of life. We have, you know, concrete laborers. We have people out in their shop. You know, we have people that aren't necessarily into, you know, lifting or fitness. I mean, they're physical people. They're blue collar people, but maybe they're not working out as much. So Super D,
Right.
what'd you have?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that when I originally reached out to AJ about, hey, you know, would you be interested in partnering with our podcast? And of course, AJ, you were like, hey, man, I like what you guys stand for. Your values and goals line up with what I'm doing. Let's create a partnership. And so I love that right away. But like, even with like myself, you know, I'm behind the desk a lot of times. I'm in a meeting, I'm on a call, something like that. And that's not everybody. There are, like Mitch said, like a few episodes ago, we interviewed one of our pro guys, Damian King. He's a concrete guy. And so one of the things that I wanted you to kind of speak into is knowing that you test all this stuff, AJ, like you believe in it. And that's what kind of gives its value, is because you can go, hey, I used this thing here and this particular pre-workout or the amino acids, which I use myself. But what are some things just like these guys can do if they can't get into that gym and can't get into going, like, you know, if Mitch and I can get in a 2-hour road bike ride, that's amazing, but that doesn't work for everybody's schedule. So what are some things guys can do to really help their fitness, specifically on the track, that 110% can partner with them on?
Absolutely. And it's funny because when I'm listening to you talk, this brand has become, you know, it started out, we're thinking we're gonna find all the athletes, right? We're gonna help all the athletes and people that go to the gym and the gym goers. But in reality, what this brand has done and the form it's taken, a large majority of our customers don't even know where the hell the nearest gym is. A lot of our customers are the labor force.
Yeah.
Concrete workers, the plumber. As a matter of fact, our biggest contract, our number one customer, buys several cases of one flavor per flavor of aminos a month. Single customer. Wow. He's a plumber.
Oh, yeah.
What he does is his guys used to drink Gatorade all day long. He used to fill up. He's got a huge plumbing company. His guys used to drink Gatorade all day long. They'd put the powdered Gatorade in the big tubs and mix it up, and that's what his guys would drink all day. Mm-hmm. They'd run teams all over. And he was finding his guys can't keep it in the heat. They just, in the summer, they were dragging off. In the winter, they were dragging off. They couldn't get it through the day. They were running ragged, especially because now, you know, everyone in the labor force, you got every college idiot like me. You don't got anyone that wants to get their hands dirty.
Right. Yeah.
So the work out there is tough. I mean, it's plentiful, and they're running ragged. So he tried our aminos at I don't even remember where I met him. And he's like, hey, this stuff is pretty good. I kind of explained what it does. He gave it to his guys, and now they are, he calls them superhumans. They joke that it's called crack juice. Yeah. So because it tastes so good, they got, he sends me pictures all the time. They've got like a dozen jugs, and it's all has a label on it that says crack juice. Wow. Like, oh, well, that's one way to call it. So,
well, even like for me, like in the cycling world, when I was talking to you, I said, hey, you know, I use this specific product, and you laughed at me on the phone. And I said, oh, and you go, oh, we've got guys off that, no problem. And so even just a few weeks ago, I had a cross country race. Some guys do, some guys don't. I wear a Camelback though, and I had my amino acids in there the whole time during the race, man. And it's great. I love it.
It's funny because I look at all these other supplement companies. I know what it costs, and I know what it takes to make these products. Mm-hmm. And I find it hilarious that all these other supplement companies have 1/3 the ingredients that we have, but somehow are double the price. Yeah. I'm sitting there, I'm like, there's something a little odd here. I know what my margins are. I donate 10% of charity on top to charity on every single sale on top of those margins.
Right.
So how much money are you making? Good Lord.
Yeah.
But so it's a lot of our products, and like you said, they're for the labor force. So this big misconception that you need to go to the gym to take supplements, it's wrong. There's nothing in the world that it could be further from the truth. These supplements are meant for anyone to improve their life. So you don't need to go to the gym. If you're in the labor force, the last thing you need to do is go to the gym.
Yeah.
You're going to the gym all day long.
Right.
You don't need, unless you're trying to be a step on stage and look like an Adonis with your shirt off. There's no reason.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, like me. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. You don't need the gym to be healthy. That's what people misunderstand.
Sure.
It's great. It definitely helps, especially if you're sedentary. If you work a desk job, you definitely need to be doing some activity. I don't care what it is. But if you're in a labor force, it's the opposite. You do plenty of activity. Now, all of our supplements, we've got our pre-workouts. Our pre-workouts are essentially, it's got the name pre-workout is a misconception itself. You don't need it to work out. As a matter of fact, most of our customers don't use it to work out. They use it instead of coffee. So our pre-workout has, or instead of Red Bulls or Monsters or any of that stuff, it's completely sugar-free, all natural, no artificial ingredients, no junk. But it's got several different components that make you a more productive person. Obviously, we have two different versions, with and without caffeine. So a regular pre-workout and a non-stim pre-workout. But the regular pre-workout is what people replace with their coffee because it has a patented blend of 3 different caffeines that doesn't have any crash in it. So that 2 o'clock crash or that afternoon crash you get with coffee or energy drinks or any of that stuff where they only last for a quick buzz, our product doesn't do that. It also has nootropics in it. A lot of very powerful, expensive nootropics, scientifically proven. Nootropics, what they do is they help with focus, mental clarity. So you're in a better headspace all day long. And on top of that is that, like I said, the energy, the caffeine, the performance. You're able to perform better at work. It's the studies and the feedback we get are insane from our customers. So then moving from the pre-workout, you've got your aminos and hydration. That's the most powerful amino and hydration product in the world. All the muscle soreness you get from busting your butt all day, whether it's in the gym or at work, either one, you're sore no matter what. That amino acids are the building blocks of protein. That is what your body uses to recover itself. So our product has got a clinical dose of all 9 essential amino acids plus a very powerful hydration blend that's got 3 times the hydration ingredients of any leading sports drink. So your Gatorades, your Powerades, your Pedialytes, your liquid IVs, all that stuff. 3 times that, all in one product. Now, what that's going to help you do is it's going to keep you hydrated. That's what the most of the labor force, and like I said, they call it crack juice because it keeps you guys going all day long. Their muscles are recovered. They're not fatiguing. They're not getting beat up in the sun. They're recovering quick. Finally, we've got our protein powders. So our full line of protein powders, that's where I recommend people. Protein is very important for your diet. And in America, it is chronically undereaten. People eat carbs, fats, no problem, but protein is undereaten by far. The recommendation for protein is at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. It within reason. Obviously, if you're 300 pounds, you don't need to be eating 300 grams of protein. But I'd say a minimum. Once you hit the 200s, that's more than enough. But people don't eat enough of that. That's a lot of chicken. That's a lot of steak. That's a lot of fish. That's a lot of eggs. So we have a protein powder. Our protein powder is 25 to 28 grams of the highest purity, highest quality protein in the world. It's got zero side effects, completely stomach friendly. We have a patented blend of digestive enzymes in there to help your body absorb all the protein. That is what people use for meal replacement. So instead of grabbing a donut on the way to work or a muffin or pizza for lunch or garbage, people use.
Who does that?
I know, right? What kind of psycho? I'd be lying if I said I don't do donuts every once in a while. Who don't do donuts?
I definitely got my donuts this morning. But anyways, yeah, tell us about it. More. Keep going. Yeah.
I got to send you more protein. You better watch it, you. I got my eye on you. But, so the people are finding that the protein is a very, very good meal replacement because it tastes amazing. A lot of people have sweet tooths. I'm one of those people.
Yep.
When I'm dieting, when I'm trying to lean out, whether it be for a show, competition, or just in life, I'm trying to get my diet under control. I find that our protein powders kill all cravings. So sweet tooth at night, you could have ice cream or cookies or a bowl of cereal or whatever sweets you have in your cabinet or candy, whatever it is. No nutritional value, nothing but garbage. Now you have a protein shake. It's only 120 calories to 140 calories, depending on the flavor. High quality meal replacement. You're getting your sweet tooth. And to be honest with you, I've become so fond of them now, and a lot of people have as well, that they've completely cut out all sweets.
Really?
So no sugar in your diet. All of our products are sugar free. So we've got 4 different flavors of protein powder. We've got peanut butter candy, tastes like Reese's Pieces. We've got strawberry cheesecake.
What I got right here,
Yeah.
peanut butter candy.
Oh yeah, that's probably one of our best sellers for sure. We've got coconut caramel cookie, and then we've got golden graham cereal, and all of them people just rave and rave. Funny thing about us, we have 110% money back guarantee on all of our products, and we're now 2 years and 2 months in business, and not one single person has ever collected on that.
Wow.
That's awesome,
Which
man.
that is a blessing. And I wake up every morning with this little pit in my stomach, like today's gonna be the day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, after we hit the 1 year mark, I was like, okay. And we hit the 2 year mark, I was like, all right, this is getting bad now. Now I'm scared.
So now
But no, it's a blessing.
let's keep it going.
5, yeah. Well, and
Watch,
AJ,
one of y'all are gonna send something back.
No, we will not.
no. One of the things too is, and I fall into this trap too, is, Mitch has 3 kids, I have 2 kids, we're both, it's just a lot's going on. And the thing is, the stuff that is convenient, like if you can get food conveniently, it's 9 times out of 10 not good for you. But the thing is, with like the protein you're talking about, you can set that jug on your counter. You can grab I've got a shaker cup, and that may be how you do it as well. Or I've even got some, one of my buddies from church has like the Fruit Ninja, and they'll mix some frozen fruit in there with it too or something. But, if you just plan like 10 seconds ahead, you don't have to go for that convenient Snickers bar. Like grab some protein and go about your day. It's not hard. Just like use your head a little bit.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's the key that you just said. It's people's convenience is key, and that's what people are doing. I mean, it doesn't take 2 seconds to throw a scoop in a cup, but some almond milk, some water, and go about your day, or throw it in a blender, or throw it in yogurt, or throw it in oatmeal, or throw it on, bake it. People make pancakes out of it.
I just eat it by the handful.
Oh yeah, I put a straw straight in the dry powder and just go for it. But no, it's
yeah.
Cinnamon challenge. No, it's honestly that's the one right there. That product has changed so many. I mean, think about it. If you cut out that morning sweet or that morning donut, you're cutting out 500 calories out of your diet right there. You're putting yourself into a deficit without even knowing it, just by one small change. The other huge change that is very important. We know our blue collar folks, they love their soda.
Yeah.
I love my soda. But with the aminos, people have completely replaced soda with the aminos. You have no idea how many calories and grams of sugar you are cutting out of your diet when you simply switch off soda to a different drink.
AJ, my biology teacher in high school, like what's a Coke can, a 12-ounce Coke can?
Yep.
She had put sugar in there that said, okay, according to the label on this can, if it has so many grams of sugar, right? And she had that can sitting there. Or no, it was a clear. Somehow it was a clear
bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. And it said, okay, if this soda has this many grams of sugar, she put that many grams, and to look, it was almost half the can. And it was like I just remember looking at that. Now, did I slow down drinking them in high school? Of course I didn't. But I remember like now that I get older, every time I look at one of those, I'm like, there's so much sugar, in that.
It's absurd.
Where you can grab your water bottle, put some amino acid in there, go about your day.
Yep. It's also going to keep you satiated. The amino acids are going to keep you more full when a soda is going to make you hungry. I mean, there's so many other avenues. It's sugar free. Our aminos are virtually 0 calorie versus a soda that's 300-400 calories depending on size, and you're like, it's insane. You suck them down, you don't even know.
Yeah.
That's another perfect example. So that's how our products are really there to benefit and help people.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And of course, any questions anyone has, I'm an open book. I love just be prepared because you're going to get what you ask for.
Yeah, you're going to get the white paper.
Question. Yeah, you ask me a question, I'm going to make sure you have all the information.
Right.
When I met you, AJ, at Ohio at Pine Lake there, I just walked up to you and introduced myself, and man, you just let me have it. You were giving me all the information, and you actually gave me a non-stim pre-workout. You're like, man, just try it. And I was under that misconception. I'd taken pre-workout to work out before. You're like, no, man, just take it and just see how you feel today. Mm-hmm. And I did. Usually, running around the races and the heat bearing down on you all day, I just kind of have a little crash. I mean, I work in the AC, I work inside every day, but I didn't have that. Like, I felt good all day. I'm like, all right. And so then I can like round back around and visit with you again. And you're just like an open book, a welcome guy. And I think, that's just the foundation of your culture starts right there. I mean, you literally want to help people. You're like, yes, I have a company, I've got a business, but I'm not in this for just money. I'm in this to help people. And, I could see that from day one. I was like, man, I want to be around a guy like this. So I'm happy that I am 110% nutrition user. I'm using these products. I love them. And I'm not taking the pre-workout right now, but I will get on that soon when we get to the races so that I can make it through those hot days for sure.
Yeah, I got you covered, brother.
So what I want to know is, so ATV racing, I mean, we're a podcast that talks a lot about ATV racing. So I know that your relationship in ATV racing started with Aaron, but how did you get into this thing, man? How are you neck deep into ATV racing?
Oh man, that's a great. So I'm going to bridge off what you said. First of all, I truly appreciate everything you said. That means the world to me. You're part. We call it the 110% family. Not a user. You're part of our family now. We take that very seriously. So when it comes to ATV racing, quad racing, this is another story of how this company and it just opens up doors at a random. So let me think the best way to put this story. So as you said, I'm a huge fan of people. I'm a people person. If you're ever around me, I'm that guy that when you walk in a room, he's there. I am first to talk. I love to just make everyone smile, make everyone happy. That's just my thing. I've always been that way. The second you meet me, I'm a presence. But I love to help people. That's my biggest thing in the world is passion. So one of our passion projects started in BMX. The BMX racing, the bicycle racing, that just exploded for us. We found our family there, and it just blew up out of nowhere. Now at one of the races, I still give him credit. Lonnie, Mr. Lonnie came up to me, and he said, "Hey, have y'all ever gotten into any, motocross or quad racing?" I said, "I don't know the damnedest thing about it. I haven't rode a quad since I was 13." I was like, I don't know what. Nope, I have. He said, "Well, why don't you check this out, man? Look into it. See, I think they would really benefit from your products." I'm like, "Well, anyone that benefit from our products, I'll give it a shot." Well, Lonnie happened to know Aaron. Lonnie put me in contact with Aaron. This is probably 8 months before season started, or right after the previous season ended.
Okay.
So I hopped on the phone with him. I'll take any opportunity someone puts to me. I won't ever leave anything on the table. So I hopped on the phone with him. I was like, let's just see where this goes. I had no expectations, and we hit it off from the first time we were on the phone. We absolutely hit it off, and I was like, wow. I mean, this kid seems amazing. He seems awesome. He's promising me everything about the sport. He's like, we could really use a supplement company in this sport, and it's completely undervalued and this and that. And I promise you we can do something cool here. I was like, man, he's got a fire in his belly just like I do. I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. So I sent him a bunch of products, see what he thinks. He fell in love. He's like, man, this is it. We're going to do this. Now, I do everything with 110%. You know that. So over that off season, me and him became very close. We talked all the time, several times a week, became really close friends. When that season started, we became even closer. He became my brother. We are now inseparable. He's one of my best friends in this world, and I owe everything in this sport to him. He opened every door for us. Him and his parents opened every door for us in this sport. So I had to get that out of the way, get a little emotional on y'all before, because that's my man. I haven't seen him in a few months, so we're actually supposed to be linking up this weekend, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Hey, here at Remain in the Race, we're all about community. So we're all about those relationships that we're tied to. And we know that God designed us for community and for people. And so the ATV racing world is near and dear to our hearts. So it's all good, brother.
Well, I am getting there. So anyway, Aaron said you got to get into quad racing. He introduced me to NEEDT, and I was talking to Mr. Sean, and we got very close. And he was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "Listen, I can't be a sponsor. I don't have the money for it right now because I don't know there's any return. This is our first year in business. There's no guarantee. I can't dish out, several $1,000s if I don't even know if people in the sport are going to take it. It could be a wash. I can't lose that right now." So the first season, he was like, "Yep." Mr. Sean was like, "Just come on. I'll trust you. Let's see." I promised him. I said, "If this goes well, I promise you, I will do everything I can and be a big sponsor." And this last season was our first season ever in quad racing. And just like BMX, it exploded. The family community fell in love with our culture. Everyone I've met in this sport are amazing, amazing people. It's been such a privilege and a blessing to get to talk to everybody. And Aaron and his family were the people that brought me to everyone. They were the ones that stood at that race and drug everyone. I call her Mama, but Aaron's mom, Mrs. Medlin, and Jimmy, go Jimmy, God bless his heart. But they would drag everyone over to us, all over the place. They would drag them all. Come, you gotta try this, and they and Aaron blew this brand up in the sport. And I found this family, and now when I go to races, everyone listening knows who they are. I wrap them in a big old hug. I tell a lot of them I love them before I leave. Like it just so fast. It's amazing. This sport has people in it that are really unicorns.
Yeah.
The only people left in this world that you can know for, I've only known some of these people for 8 months, and I feel like I've known them for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's insane. And every time I go to the races, the Scotts, the Beatties, the Kings, Tyler and his brother, his dad, everybody, Chucky, Brad, everyone I know in this sport are just some of the best people. And man, I owe it to them. And they fell in love with the brand and the culture we have. So I was like, well, hell, why don't we start a team? So I was like, Aaron, you interested in being sponsored? And he's like, hell, let's do it. So we picked Aaron up as our first sponsor. As soon as that happened, that blew up, of course, because everyone knows Aaron's a kind of a child prodigy here. So that blew up. I didn't realize how talented he was in the sport. I've never seen a race. I didn't know what the hell quad racing was. Didn't know anything about it. He's just like, I'm fast. I was like, good for you, bud.
Awesome.
I'm fast too. My truck goes pretty quick. Like that's all. I don't know anything about it. Didn't think anything of it until I saw that first race at Black Ankle last year. Holy smokes. I've never been so in love with the sport. I was head over heels, going nuts. I was like, that's it. I'm in. So from that time on, Aaron was our first rider, and it slowly started to pick up. Race by race, people would fall into our family and fall in love with our culture and our products, and now we've got a full team coming on this season. Pretty much every race last year, every single race we had a rider on the podium. And not only, I tell everybody, I don't look for the best on the track, I look for the best off the track. So every one of our riders are amazing people, more importantly than athletes. Aaron in particular.
That kind of hurts my feelings. No wonder you were so eager to jump on with us, is because I guess we're really poor racers, but we're good people.
Yeah, there you go. You're great. That's why I like y'all. You might be slow, but you're my slow.
Yeah. You got a great personality,
That's like the ugly chick rule.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but she's got a nice personality.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's been awesome. So now I just surround myself with this tight knit family, and it's growing. It's growing so fast. We just signed our first female rider, it's amazing. Tyler Terry is he's like my little brother, man. I call him all the time. He calls me all the time. It's a Tanner. I'm sorry, Tanner Terry.
It's all good. Where you going?
Yeah.
It's weird. I've became close with Brad, became close with everybody. So it's funny how this sport has taken to this brand so much more than I ever thought it would. Because I'm sitting here thinking, there ain't no way. And I come from, rednecks as far as they come. And I know my family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there ain't no way they're taking these products. So I'm sitting here like, man, Aaron, I don't know. First race, knocked out of the park. Hit it. Everyone took to it like candy. Everyone loved it. They were raving about it, spreading it all over for me. And now you've got this community of riders that know our name all in one season.
Yeah.
So all that covers the first season. Everything went excellent. Towards the end of the season, all of our riders won all crazy different awards at the ceremony, nationally recognized. And at that ceremony, I pulled Mr. Sean aside and I said, listen, I promised you that if this first season went well and I took to the sport and the sport took to us, I'd be a bigger part of it. So I want it all. I said, every opportunity you have for sponsorship,
I want it all.
I want it all. Put me in for everything, no matter what. He's like, everything? I was like, whatever you think of some crazy, let's do it.
Uh-huh.
And he'd call me and bounce ideas off me. What about this? And what about that? And he said, what about the 90cc series? Do you want to be? I said, I want it all. I want everything. Yeah, when I walk in, I want 110 to be on top. I want to give back to the support. I want to give back to the sport that made me welcome me with open arms and made me feel so happy and at home.
Mm.
So I was like, I want everything. I want to give back as much as I can. I want to be on every race. I don't care what you got. Let's throw it on. He's like, well, what about, trophies or payouts? I said, I will match whatever you or any of the other sponsors are putting in for all of them. Let's go for it.
Wow.
That's where we're at now.
Yeah.
Coming into season 2, only season 2, and we are the title sponsor. First race at Black Ankle, we are the main, the overall sponsor. I'd said Black Ankle's, that was my first race. That's Aaron's home track. That's a special place in my heart. So I want to be the big name at that track. So I'm coming in heavy at that one. Cannot wait. Right around the corner.
I know. Well, that's
big old party.
Just a couple weeks.
A couple weeks away. Yeah, we'll be there,
first
man.
Weekend of May.
Mitch and I'll be there. We'll be able to give you a big hug and all the.
I can't wait, man. That's me. Everyone knows me. Joey Mickley's parents laugh every time they see me because I wrap them all in a big hug, and they're like, what's wrong with you?" But no, it's
man,
right. Oh man,
come on, that's just me.
That's awesome. Getting to know. Because like Mitch knew everyone, like I hadn't raced flat track since I was in high school, a long time ago. And we just jumped back in. And now like I talked to Joey Mickley today, and I got to know Tanner and Aaron and just so many of these guys. And it's like, it really is a big family. You can compete out on the track. But at the end of the day, you care more about that person than whether you beat them or not, and I love that, man. It's so unique to the sport.
The camaraderie and the character in this sport, the athletes, the fans, it's absurd. I've never seen anything like it in my life, and I'm just so blessed to be a part of it.
Dude, AJ, we're happy to have you. The sport's happy to have you, and the culture that you bring, and we're thankful that you found family here in the ATV racing world because we love it too. And I think we could probably just go on all night about this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah.
It has been one heck of an interview, and I definitely want to have you back on in the future. We're going to have your buddy Aaron on here in a little bit and talk to him.
Oh, buddy, that's my brother. What are you talking about?
Yeah, your brother. I've got to get my terminology right, okay?
you got to remember family.
Not a user. I'm family.
Yeah,
it's not a buddy. He's a brother. Okay.
There you go. See?
Just keep on keeping on. Don't give up on me, AJ. I'll get there. All right. I'm gonna figure this thing out.
By Black Ankle. If you come up to me and you say anything besides brother, me and you are gonna be tussling in the parking lot.
Okay. All right, I got it. Super D's gonna make sure because I don't want any part of you, AJ. But I don't want you to give me a dirt nap, bro.
Yeah, AJ, I don't know if you remember Mitch in person, but you probably eat his body weight in protein a day.
I'll tell you what. anyone that knows me worth it knows that I can eat more than any other human being. So I'm willing to bet I could put that down.
I love it. Well, AJ, man, again, thank you for your time. Keep keeping it 110%, brother. And we will see you soon. All right.
That is love. Can't wait to see y'all. And I will ask the listeners, please, if you ever see our tents up, if you see me, if you see anyone around with a 110 shirt on, please come see me, come talk to me. I'd love to meet y'all if I don't know you're ready and bring you into our family.
88 Live to Ride is a nonprofit foundation invested in the protection, education, and safety advancements for all riders involved in ATV racing. One way you can support Miss Debbie Pard-Tosick over there is to log into smile.amazon.com when you're making all your purchases there and select 88 Live to Ride as the nonprofit you would like to donate to. Again, that's smile.amazon.com and 88 Live to Ride.
Man, we want to welcome in a star of the EDT world, Mr. Aaron Medlin, number 8 from North Carolina. I mean, this guy has been on the podium more times than I can shake a stick at. A runner-up in almost every, or winner and runner-up in almost every race last year in the NEDT, knocking on the door for the championship. Aaron Medlin, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, me and Super D here up in the Frog, just excited to have you on and kind of hear your backstory, Aaron. So tell us kind of how racing started for you. I know you've basically been on a quad ever since you were born, but tell us how it started.
Yeah, I pretty much came out of the womb on a quad. I've been around it my whole life. My dad, he used to race back in the day, and he always talks about it. He was the greatest thing ever, but who knows? But he got me into it, and he got me on the first four when I was 4, and then I remember I was so small that I couldn't even sit down. I had to stand up to race the whole time. But ever since then I fell in love with it. I just kind of pushed away from all the other sports I played and just focused on it because there was nothing else like it.
So, Aaron, have you always been in TT racing, or have you ever done any other forms of racing?
Yeah, I've raced like a couple of local motocross and practice on motocross, and I've been wanting to do some trail racing. I was thinking about doing a couple next year if I got time, but yeah, that's what I'd like to try.
Well, Aaron, we need to get you down here because, like, when I'm not in the flat track world or the EDT world, me and old Papa Bear, that's what we're doing. We're racing in the woods, man. So just jump on a plane down here to Arkansas. We'll have you a machine.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Well, I might need to make a trip then.
There, you heard it there, Aaron. Well, hey, man, we had AJ on from 110%, a brother of yours. Y'all recently, kind of collabed up, I guess almost 2 years ago now. But y'all hit it off, and he says y'all are brothers. So tell me a little bit about that relationship that y'all have got.
Well, I used to go down to Florida a lot, and a guy, his son does the BMX race, and that's what AJ does a lot of. And the guy went and told him about me. I gave him my number, and AJ reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to use his products, and he wanted to help me out and get into the sport. So we've been working together, and it's just been great. I mean, this stuff, it got me in really good shape. I mean, I could tell last year I had one of the best seasons I ever had.
Absolutely.
But, we just been helping each other out, pushing, and then I don't know. I think we build on each other. It's good.
Well, speaking of last season, so Aaron, you had 2 pro wins. You won 3, what I'm going to call semi-pro. So you won 3 pro-am mains, and you're in the podium all but one, and that's the one you decided to take a dirt nap at your own track. So I would say you had one heck of a season.
I was trying to make a consistent season, being on the box every time, but I decided to play Superman down there at the bottom.
Yeah, you're lucky to have made it out of that all right. But you bounce back, literally bounce back right off the ground. But one thing I saw different, Aaron, you've been freaking fast for a long time.
But what you've lacked is the whole shot. The little bit that I got to race with you, that's one thing I knew. I'm like, I know I can get a start on Aaron. So if I can just put enough people between me and him, I'll be okay. We knew you were going to put on the most passes and stuff. Do you think the 110% supplements maybe increased your focus? Maybe that's part of the secret of you starting to get whole shots or good starts now? What do we think?
It could have. I don't know. Honestly don't even know what happened. I just pulled one, and then I don't know. It's like I found it again.
Well,
I lost
daddy
it.
said that you were just guessing. Jimmy said you just dumped the clutch. You just counted to 3 and dumped the clutch is what he told me.
There was one time my hand slipped off the clutch and I accidentally pulled the whole shot. Every other time was on purpose.
Well, hey, whatever you've done, you found something. Right. Because, Aaron, I think a good start for you in the past was 10th. That I can remember of. And now
I was lucky to come out top 10.
Yeah, that is for dang sure. Well, I know the last time that I got to race you was actually out there at Black Ankle, and that same end of the straightaway where you went off the side of the track. I remember you passed me, and I was going to try to keep you in my sights, and you were just going so fast and pitching it sideways. I was just butt cheeks clenched. I was so scared. I'm like, I don't know how these dudes are going this fast and going this sideways, because I don't know. It's just freaking fast. But that's one thing about your style. You pitch it sideways. So talk to me a little bit about where you got that style or how you developed that style, just throwing it sideways like that.
Well, I guess just watching, I've always liked like Shane hitting all the older guys. And back then when they was on like 250 yards and even the 400s, they used to just throw them things in there and just, especially with the old tri-track tires, you could about drift it in there a quarter mile away. So that's where I really got it from. Just watching them and picking up on their riding styles and stuff over the years and different people, and then bringing my own style into it. I don't know. It just suits me.
So when we had CJ on here, we were talking to him a little bit. I said, I noticed that sometimes both of you guys really crack the rear brake to get it sideways. Is that just how you started developing going sideways like that? You just crack the rear brake and then drag the front brake after that? Is that kind of part of your style?
Yeah, go ahead and you go ahead and get on that front brake. It takes that weight off the back, and if you just slammed on that back brake, you can get it sideways and then just control it rest away with your front brake. And then every once in a while, like if I don't hit the turn perfect, I may tap it again just to get back there. But the left-hand turns are the hard ones because you're leaning over so far. It's hard to get back over there to that rear brake. So mainly just have to use the fronts.
Yeah, and so often it is like it's the fast straightaways that end and go left, so that makes that style a little harder. I'll say I've never done that style and just jamming that rear brake to get it sideways, but it is definitely something that you and CJ both have perfected. You make it look good. It's fast for sure. So I know I kind of fast forwarded a little bit through. Asked you a little bit about how you got into racing, then we jumped all the way to 22 season because I wanted to kind of welcome in your relationship and AJ. But let's step back. So you got into racing when you were 4. You basically were standing up and sitting down at the same time. But how did racing progress for you? Like what are kind of those fondest memories of those things that really just locked you in when it came to racing?
Something that really locked me in, I always remember just going to Danville, Virginia, Birch Creek, and the old horseshoe track, and just watching just like Shane Hitt and Keith Little and Tim Farr and all of them just flying around there. I was like, yeah, I want to be that fast one day. So that's what really just hooked me in. The memory of Birch Creek, and I'm so happy we're going back there again this year. Well, going back finally this year. But that's just one memory that always stays in my head.
Basically, it was just being around it, being in tune with it, and like just aspiring to one day be able to do that. And your mom and dad have been critical in this sport. They've been in this sport for a long time. They've kept you in it, and just critical and really kind of resurrecting it. So tell us a little bit about
what your dad has done in the sport.
Oh, my dad, he's done a lot for me. He's hey, I honestly think he loves it more than I do. I know he does. He'll get more excited to go to track than anyone. But it's just in our blood, and he's helped me out. Every time I get faster, I'm like, I want to move up. He'll go and find me something a little faster. And he's also helped me out since he raced. He also knows setup and stuff, so he's helped me out on how to ride and do stuff here and there. And then I picked up things from other people and kind of brought my own style into it. And I don't know, it just seemed to work. But my mom and dad love everything they've done for me. They kept me doing this and always behind me through it no matter what.
I would attest to that. Your dad has a passion for this sport. I mean, he's one of those joyful people, always joking, having a good time. I mean, he's a guy that any race I was at, I wanted to be around you guys because it's a good time. And your dad he just loves life. That's for dang sure. So tell me, so did your dad start Big Dog? I want to know what the name behind Big Dog. Well, how'd this all start, Big Dog Racing?
I really don't even know where. I know my dad, that's what he used to call himself, was Big Dog.
Okay. All right.
And back in the day, so I guess that's just how it built. And then he just started the Big Dog Racing. And like, when I moved up in the pro and started getting a little faster, and then people started looking. So looking at me, and my dad was doing my motors and stuff. So some other people started coming and asked him if he would help them and put together some motors. So that's just how it kind of formed. And
I see. So he is the original Big Dog, and then because of your performance, then starts Big Dog Racing.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit, I know you and Tanner and Brad are real close, and CJ. Tell me a little bit about all of y'all's dynamic and how your relationship with each one of those guys started. So why don't you start first with CJ? Tell me how your relationship started with CJ.
Well, CJ, I remember his dad and my dad used to race when they was growing up and all, and they always raced. So he's a little bit younger than me, so I remember him growing up and watching him at Black Ankle on the old Z400, and he would always race it. And then I really met him whenever he started dating my sister. And then he pretty much moved in, and I don't know, he became like a brother to me. And we was always up in the shop or just riding on the pit track at the house, just always messing around doing something. And then he finally moved up in the pro, and I don't know, it just one year he just found it. He just came fast, and now he's one of the fastest people out there.
And you guys together pushing the level of the sport, pushing the speed of the sport, and it's crazy what level you are taking it to. So then I guess, being around the racetrack, you've been around Brad a while, but how did your relationship with Brad and Tanner really develop and evolve?
Well, I've known Brad for a long time, ever since we was both little. We've both been around the track probably since we could remember, but I always knew Brad kind of at the track and raced against him. And then we started working together, and we've been working with each other for like 8 years now. And I've always been around Tanner growing up, and now he's old enough and he's finally going to start running with us. So he's getting a little hair on his peaches and wants to talk his smack and stuff.
Yeah, we know that. We know.
But Tanner, he's a good kid. But I told him, I was like, he keeps saying, I'm ready to race with y'all. I was like, it's a whole different environment.
Yeah.
I was like, your mental's going to start coming in, because just knowing that you're out there with us and that in your head, that's going to mess you up. But he says he's ready.
Yeah, it's I don't remember if it was last pod or the one before this, Aaron, but there's just guys that do whatever the sport is, BMX, this, hockey, whatever, the guys that are at the top, even the guy that gets 10th, and Mitch said, even the guy that gets 20th are amazing racers. And it's really hard to take that jump, And so I think Tanner's, definitely on the right track, but, I think he will, he'll be very, very competitive. But like you say, man, it's just different when you're like, oh, hey, I got to go race all my heroes,
Yeah.
Like people you've been looking up to.
And then when he gets up there in the line, he's like, oh, man, I'm really out there with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna be out there at Black Ankle to witness it. So
Yeah,
we're looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I'm glad y'all are coming out. It's gonna be a good weekend.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're definitely looking forward to it. So Aaron, give me your best memory of racing to this point, whether that's on or off the track. But what's your best memory?
Dang, there's so many. This is a hard one. Got me. It's
Hey,
really hard to.
Aaron, I bet you're a little bit like me.
Got me stumped.
So I've told Super D this before because him and I just in side conversation, I said, sometimes we've raced so much and there's so many good memories, you just can't pinpoint one down. It's just like one race leads right to the next and on to the next, on to the next. So I mean that's one motivation behind this pod is so people can kind of relive that a little bit and relive some of their best times that they've had. But all right, so Super D's got a photo pulled up of you on the JFG machine. So give me a little insight in what was developing there. I know you're racing with Jim Glenn and the East Coast Series. Am I right?
Yeah.
So
on the local East Coast Series, I'm riding with him, and then Brad, I'm riding with Brad in the Nationals. We're gonna buddy up and go out, and I'm gonna ride his Honda hybrid in the Nationals.
You just answered my question. I said, so you and Brad are partnering up on Yamahas?
I don't know. I guess we'll see at Black Ankle.
Well, Tanner told us the same thing. I said, Tanner, before we let you go, got one more question. What are we riding next year? And he was like, I don't think I can say. And I was like, well, you just answered it.
Like it.
Could be some Honda hybrids. Could be 3 Yamahas. Who knows?
Oh boy! Oh! Put a little spice.
Keep everyone guessing.
Well, whatever it'll be. Are we going to try to sweep the podium? We're gonna have Aaron at the top, and then Brad and Tanner up there.
We're gonna see. This time we're just gonna try not to take any dirt naps. That's the main thing.
Hey, that's right. Let's start off the season on a good note, keeping the rubber side down and making a good finish.
Yeah, but Jim, he asked me to ride his bike, and then I already was talking about riding the hybrid with him again on the Nationals. We're gonna team up and go. I told Jim, I was like, well, I'll ride yours and all the East Coast because we got a bunch of East Coast races this year. So he was like, yeah, that'll work. So he's actually just finished up the bike I'm going to be riding. He's got number 8 on it stuff. He just finished it up tonight for the race tomorrow at Black Ankle East Coast.
Sweet.
Oh, I'll be tuned into that. Yeah. So I know, can we say that? Yeah, we've said that about Buzz Creek. Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know which machine we're going to get to spend some laps on, but at Bud's Creek this year, Aaron, we reached out to Jim, and by I mean Mitch, and we were like, hey man, Jim, would you like to participate in our builders brawl? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm in. How many bikes you want? How many tracks? It was like, we just need one. How about Bud's Creek? And he's like, okay, I'll have you a bike there. So, dude, he's the coolest guy. That's cool that you're getting to work with him.
Jim is great. He's there to help anyone. He's always like, if I want something done to the bike, he's already on it before I can finish telling him what I want to do to it.
Yeah, I can remember the first time I met him, Mitch and I were just walking around, and he said, hey, man, here's the trailer. Help yourself. Get whatever you need. Get tired. Go get in the RV. Take a nap, whatever you need. It's just like, I just love that about the racing community, Aaron, is everybody's like that. Like, just make yourself at home, whatever you need.
Oh, yeah, everyone helps everyone. That's another thing I love about it.
We've shared this story at least a couple of times on here about how, when you've had a machine failure and then Brad just stepped up and let you race his machine, we know y'all are buddies, but y'all are also top competitors. I mean, you were Brad's number 1 competitor this past year, and his willingness to be able to do that. I think that just speaks to what this sport is. It's guys at the very top of the sport, the best in the entire world, and willing to loan machines to one another.
Oh yeah, we all want the best competition we can have out there, so we're always going to look after each other and make sure we're out there. And Brad, he was asking me before the year started last year, for me to ride his bike, and I just built my hybrid. I was like, well, I'm just gonna run in. Then it ended up messing up at Ohio, and I guess it was destiny for me to ride his. And I appreciate like everything Brad has done. Like he has some good bikes too, and I don't know. It was a good season last year.
Heck of a season for sure. Well, hey, just kind of building off that, Aaron, who else, you mentioned your mom and dad and Brad, who else do you want to think's been a big part of your success to this point in your racing career?
Frank Batista, he reached out to me when I first started pro, and he was just getting into building motors, and he asked me, he was like, let me build you a motor. So I said, all right, and I sent him one, and he sent it back to me, and then ever since then he's always helped me out. If I ever need anything, he's there. And he's been one of the big guys that's been here with me ever since I started pro. But also, like Daryl, he's always helped me out with stuff, just all the sponsors every year, and just really everyone at the track. It helps out everyone. If you really think about it, you go up and ask anyone, they're there to help you out.
Even your brother AJ, I mean, you think he's a big help, or kind of just in the way?
Oh no, he's big help. he'll pump me up before the race. It's a good time. He gets me nice and pumped and had me ready going.
I'm telling you what, we visited with him for almost an hour tonight, and I was kind of motivated to go jump on my bike and go ride 100 miles. Man, I'm ready to go.
Is a motivator in your corner.
Yeah.
Whether it's his supplement or his motivation before, something's changed on your whole shots.
That's right.
Aaron, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to market this thing, okay? I'm going to figure out what is it that is
turned. Well, you figure it out. Let me know.
Well, hey, maybe your dad's got it right. Maybe you are just guessing. But anyway, I just saw a huge change in your start, so I know I'm just going to have to watch on the sideline now because I can't get in front of you from the beginning.
Maybe you can figure it out at Black Ankle.
Well, I'm going to spend some laps.
I have noticed that it does make it way easier starting out up front.
Yeah, you don't have to work so hard. You don't have to pass 15 people to get on the podium. Well, Aaron,
it does help out.
Is there anything else that you want to add, man? Anything else you want to share while we got you on the pod?
I just one thing is props to y'all for starting this and just getting the whole racing, everything racing out there. Like I know a bunch of people are always talking about y'all's podcast, and I listen to every one of them. It's nice to hear like every weekend what's going on, like all out through. So props to y'all too. And just everyone.
Aaron, when Mitch got hurt a couple years ago, almost, dang, that's coming up, dude, by the way.
Yeah, June or Labor Day.
Yeah.
Labor Day, yeah.
Anyways, when Mitch was like, man, like we had something going, what's something we can do? And that's where, Ryne and I kind of both come into the story. It was like, hey, let's do a podcast. And Mitch goes, I don't know nothing about a podcast. And dude, it has been so cool to meet all the people we have, just the connections. I mean, I'm back into racing full throttle now. We've got our builders brawl this year, and it's all just a couple of knuckleheads just doing what we can do, and it's been really, really cool. So I really appreciate that, and appreciate you giving us some time tonight and getting AJ in the sport. And man, we're pumped to see you here in a couple of weeks, dude.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait to see you. I'm glad the sport's finally, I feel like it's picking back up and a lot more people are showing up and stuff.
Absolutely. Y'all keep doing your thing because it's building. It is for sure. Well, Aaron, dude, thank you again for your time, man. Would love to have you on in the future again. And best of luck as you make kind of final preparations. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. Or, well, good luck in your race tomorrow. But, start of the any nationals is what I'm talking about. So,
yeah, boy.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate it. See y'all in a couple weeks.
Hey, here at Remain in the Race, we're all about Ryne Johnson Racing. For all of the aftermarket needs, from grab bars and bumpers to heel guards to complete custom builds, give them a visit at RyneJohnsonRacing.com.
Again, I want to say a big thank you to AJ Mennuti and Aaron Medlin for giving us some time here tonight to come on and share both their stories, you know, and how I'm glad that we had both of them on together, because AJ wouldn't be in the sport without Aaron. And according to Mitch, Aaron wouldn't be doing as good as he's doing without AJ and the impact he's had on his life, both as a brother and with the nutrition side of it too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a nutrition or motivation, but I said it in the pod and I'll say it again. There's some recipe to how Aaron goes from, dead last, 10th place or worse on the starts, to this dude's getting whole shots.
Saw it at Pine Lake.
I
myself.
I had to pick my jaw up off the ground the first time I saw it. I'm like, when did Aaron figure out how to take off?
So, and I said this in the pod too, and we were kind of joking about it, but I remember Jimmy either told you, Aaron's dad, by the way, either told you, Mitch, or me, or we were both standing there, and he said, because Aaron got a whole shot. And he, after the race, like, he didn't say congratulations or anything. He said, "Did you have your eyes closed? Did you just count down and guess? How'd you do that? Because, you know, like, what are you doing?" Like, wow, thanks, Dad. I just won a professional race in flat track. And then all you want to know is, how did I get the start? Did I have my eyes closed? So, but again, want to say thank you to those guys. And it'll be cool to catch up with them here. And, we're within 2 weeks now, guys. When this comes out, it'll be, we've got PIR this weekend, and be with the Keisters, and then next weekend we'll be at Black Ankle with
KC Racing Machine.
Greg Casey and CJ. We're going to be teammates with CJ Robson, defending
MWEDT champion.
And all three of us are going. Surprise,
yes.
All you listeners. We have plane tickets bought. I bought a new gear bag, by the way, a rolly one, because I've, got to take gear. Got to go race.
Sweet.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to act so childish.
No, I'm going to be in the middle seat just...
I'm not flying with these guys.
All week.
You know what Mitch did?
just act like
I've got a reputation to uphold.
His ticket's in the very front. Me and you were by the porta-john in the back.
Darn it.
I did book myself first class, and y'all are going to have to sit straight up in the very back, like, sit up real tall.
No recline.
And when that thing goes whoosh, like real fast, and then everybody's taking a dump back there.
Oh, no.
We're gonna be there.
North Carolina. Do we have anywhere to stay yet?
No. We have flights and a car. So
nice.
We're all gonna sleep in the trunk of a Daewoo car or something. Nissan Versa. Front seats are laid
we're
back.
just figuring this thing out as we're going. That's all we're doing.
Shoot from the hip. See, that's fine.
So Ryne's the planner here. Okay. So if you hadn't already figured this out by listening to podcasts, Ryne's the planner, and I'm the one that's been booking, and I've just figured things out as I go. So, I think I got your names right. I think they'll let you on the plane. And if you get on the plane, you're in the back probably. And I don't know where you're going to lay your head or take a shower, but we're going to North Carolina, baby.
This ticket is for Danielle Delacourt. Yep, that's me. Oh, boy. All right, it's getting weird. We're going to wrap this one up. Thank you for tuning in to episode 24, and we will see you at the track. Thanks for listening.